what's up, everybody? Welcome to this issue of Staffing Monthly, where we are dissecting the recruiting quadrant. And if you're not familiar with what that is, go check out the first video in the Staffing Monthly issue here, where I just do a quick short video just to break down the 4 quadrants within the recruitment quadrant. And what this really is it just shows you the 4 areas that you should be focusing on if you want to have an optimized and full candidate pipeline, right? If you want to be having the highest quantity, the highest quality candidate pipeline out there, these are the 4 areas that you should be looking at. And they include your job ad strategy, recruitment marketing, the employee referral program, right? You're the referral, and also ATS mining tools. And in today's session, I actually had the privilege of talking with Steve Smith from ApplicantPro, and he dropped some amazing knowledge about job ad optimization and some of the key things that I wasn't even aware of that we have to deal with on a regular basis. You know, dealing with the major job boards out there are huge. You know, if you've noticed a decline in the amount of candidates that you're getting or applicants on your job boards, he probably addresses it in his optimization practices here. It's a short video, but definitely pay attention. You're going to get a lot of information out of this. Hope you enjoy.
That leads to the first part of optimization practice. This is literally the last slide. Okay. We're going to spend 10 minutes on this because this is by far the most critical piece that you need to know. And this is what was lost when the internet was introduced and recruiters just started throwing their job descriptions up there. Number 1, ad title. Your ad title should be a searchable keyword that applicants are looking for. You know how you do that? Well, pretend you're an applicant. If I were to start typing in registered nurse on Indeed right now, it would show me the top 10 search results. So in my career at one point, my title was a senior career development advisor. Now, can you imagine if I went to Indeed and typed in career development advisor, what kind of jobs do you think would pop up? It wasn't a recruiter, which is what I was, right? In fact, I can tell you what pops up because I've done the search. It's a bunch of advisors at colleges and universities. They thought I was just going to advise students on their career paths at a college or university. So as a searcher, job seeker, I learned very quickly that typing in what my current title is not the right keyword. If I want to find relevant jobs, I need to just type in recruiter, right? Candidates search the same way. How many of you have a position that you feel like I'm not getting a lot of applicants? The first thing you need to ask yourself, am I using the right keyword or keywords? Okay, so here's the rule, 1 to 2%. If my job ad title is recruiter, then I need to use the word recruiter in the body of the ad, the actual ad, right? Not a description, an ad. I'm going to say that a lot. In the ad, recruiter needs to be used 1 to 2% of the time. So if my ad is 500 words, for those of you who know simple math, 1% of 500 is 5, 2% of 500 is 10. So that means the word recruiter needs to appear in the body of the ad at least 5 times and up to 10 times. That's the rule. When you do that, you are telling the algorithm that this keyword is an important keyword. And so if somebody's searching for this keyword, I want to pop up in the search results and be at the top. So it has nothing to do with refreshing. It has to do with keyword placement. Does that make sense? Because at this stage, I'm going to ask the question. At this stage, so the way a job search engine works is it's 3 steps: the impression, the click, and the apply. So when I type in a keyword search, I get an impression. Impression is just a list of jobs. And then I click, and then it gives me the option to apply. I can't apply until I click, right? But the question I'm going to ask is, at that first stage, the impression stage, who are we trying to impress? And Dan, I'm going to ask you the question because nobody else is here to really talk about this, but who are we trying to impress at that stage?
So my gut says the candidate, but
Yep.
I feel like we need to impress Indeed in this scenario.
Exactly. So you're not trying to impress the candidate. You want to impress the algorithm.
Right. That's what. Yeah.
I'm going to get a T-shirt.
That's what I've learned. But prior to this presentation, I would have been all in on candidate.
Yeah, I'm going to get a T-shirt that says "Impress the algorithm" because I'm telling you that is the goal here. So we've already talked about how to impress the applicant with our job ad, the content, answering the questions. But I'm going to tell you, if you want to start popping up to the top of the search results, you have to impress the algorithm. That is crucial. Okay. And the way you do that is proper keyword placement. If you're not sure what keyword to use, start doing searches on Indeed. Act as if you're an applicant. Can you find your own job? Can you find your own keywords? The other cool part is you can follow the same 1 to 2% rule in the body of the ad with any keyword you want. Do you want to target a different keyword? 1 to 2%. Now, here's 2 things you don't want to do. Do not white font or keyword stuff. Now, you're probably saying, Steve, what the heck is that? So when algorithms first started coming on the scene, as a recruiter, I was the best of my class because I knew how to use algorithms. And so I would scroll down to the bottom of the ad. I would type in the keyword a whole bunch of times. I would even type in my competitors' names. And then I would highlight it and make it white so it didn't even show on the ad, but it was still there for the algorithm to pick up. So guess who got a lot of applicants all the time back then? Yeah. So, but the problem is that's illegal now. You can't do that. You will get blocked. So no white fonting where you highlight it and make it white, or you type the keywords is called keyword stuffing where you just kind of throw it all at the bottom. You can't do that. Your ad has to be natural. And so if you're going to add keywords, make it natural. Now we already talked about quality content. That's number 2. Number 3 is this ad rotation radius idea. So this doesn't apply to everybody. But if you have positions that are less than 25 miles apart from another location, like my restaurants and manufacturing and retails and stuff like that, Indeed and some of the other job boards have a rule that if your job is less than 25 miles from the other one, you can't have both ads posted at the same time. In fact, if you do, you'll probably notice that one job will get a whole bunch of applicants, the other one gets nothing, and you're just like, why? What the heck is going on? It's because you're violating the radius rule. And so the way to get around it, if you want to know the trick, the 75% rule. What is the 75% rule? It's this, and we talk about it as ad rotation. Have a version A and a version B of your ad, but they have to be 75% different from one another. So you can't be a copycat. You can't just copy and paste. It doesn't work. You actually have to write an ad and take the time to write an ad so that it is 75% different from the other ad. So if you want to post in multiple locations at the same time, it has to be done that way. Otherwise, the algorithm will catch it and they'll derank it or block it altogether. And they'll just block one of them, not both. The other option is for those of you that have evergreen positions. And when I say evergreen, I mean they're just always open, you're constantly hiring for. Ad rotation works beautiful for this. Have a version A, a version B, and maybe even a version C. So month 1, post version A, month 2, post version B, month 3, post version C, and then rotate back. A, B, C, A, B, C. Why? Because there's a concept called job ad fatigue. If the candidate sees the same job over and over again, not only do they not click on it, but you know what happens when the applicant doesn't click on it? The algorithm, being as smart as it is, assumes that, oh, the candidate's not interested in that. We're no longer going to show it in the search results. So you're actually limiting your own visibility. Does that make sense? And so job ad rotation allows you to have different ads every month so that the algorithm, 1, doesn't derank you, but 2, you capture different types of applicants because different applicants are going to see it and they're going to be attracted to some ads as opposed to others. It's just the way it works. Different ads attract us in different ways. I could read an ad and laugh. Dan could read the ad and cry. We don't know, right? And so you just have to understand that we look at it differently, okay? Now, the last 3 things here, percentage rules. 90% of your job ad, like we call this the 90% rule, needs to be what the candidate is actually doing 90% of the time. You can't just have a job description that even says down at the bottom, requires sitting for 8 hours a day. I mean, how many applicants do you think read that requires sitting for 8 hours a day and they think to themselves, oh my gosh, I'm applying for that one. That sounds amazing to me, right? It doesn't happen. So the 90% rule says that if I'm going to post information, the information I'm going to post should be information that is relevant to what the applicant is doing 90% of the time, period. And you should never have more than 5 bullet points in any given section because the algorithms will derank your position when you have more bullet points. Did you know that? Right? Again, the algorithm is designed to look at content and quality. It is grading you every single day when you post your jobs. If you want to increase visibility, follow these rules. Now, pay equity, we've already talked about. The last one is ban the box. And this is really interesting. So Indeed just introduced ban the box this year, where if in your job ad you say that it requires a background check, they will actually block your job now. Now, they don't block it in all industries. So if your position works with children or if you're part of the fire department or police department or something like that, they still allow those to say that, yes, we run a background check. But if you have wording in your ad that says we run a background check or a drug screen, they will now block your ad if you are not in one of their required industries where they allow it. So you have to understand that it is ever changing, because like I said, this only went into effect like 2 or 3 months ago. So it is brand spanking new. And so if you have some ads that suddenly stop getting applicants, you might have some wording in there that you need to change. So guys, these are some of the job board rules. And I will tell you, it is a moving target. These things will change all the time. That's why you stay in touch with somebody like me or Dan or somebody that can help you understand, as these new rules come out, how to play by the game. If you want to refresh your job, this is the way to do it. This is how you get to the top, and this is how you impress the algorithm. Okay. So if you want some free tools, I've got some free tools on here. We have some ways to write ads. It's just applicantpro.com/tools. Great way to get more information. Obviously, if you like what you heard here and you like me, hopefully, then you can obviously follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram. I also have Twitter and all that too, but they're just not as popular in the HR world. And then obviously the website there. So I'm going to end there.